Hello everyone, once again this is Covenant Tabernacle's YouTube channel. Today we want to introduce you to our senior pastor, Melinda Lane. She's been a pastor at Covenant Tabernacle for the past 15 years, and she's just been doing some amazing things over the years. She also works very closely with our children. If you check out our videos of the kids performing, that was all her. She did all the directing, she did all the choreography, everything. Pastor Melinda, how are you doing?
I'm blessed, thank you. How are you?
I'm blessed by the best. We just have a few questions we want to ask you, kind of let people know who you are, what our church is all about. You have some time?
Sure.
What drew you into the ministry?
I was called when I was 14. I'll never forget that day. I didn't know how God was going to bring that call to fruition, how He was going to make it happen, but God is faithful. And He called me into pastoral ministry 15 years ago here in Breckenridge, and here we are.
So what did you do before pastoral ministry?
I was an evangelist for a number of years, and prior to that, I was a children's pastor in Florida and also served in music ministry.
Now, you're also a recording artist. How did that play into your going into ministry as far as a speaking ministry?
It was interesting because I was scheduled to have a Sunday concert service at a church, and the Lord had laid it on my heart to share a message. I really was fighting that and didn't really want to. So I went to the pastor, assuming he would say no, and told him what the Lord had laid on my heart. And after arguing with God about it for such a long time, the pastor looked at me and he said, well, if God's laid it on your heart, then that's what you have to do. And so that's when I gave in and surrendered to the call to preach.
And so after that, it was just kind of one opportunity after another.
God continued to prove Himself. Oh my. He opened doors in places that I never dreamed possible, from here to California to Florida, Georgia, Indiana, just all over the Southeast and Southwest.
So when you came to Breckenridge about 15 years ago, God really kind of gave you a vision.
Yes, He did.
And what was that vision really?
God gave me a vision that this church was not the typical church, that we'd be more of a mission, an outreach facility. We've been that, but not on the scale that I believe God is leading us to now. And we are fulfilling that vision that God laid on our hearts all those years ago at this time, with the plans to open a home for women who are coming out of jail, to equip them, to teach them, to train them, to help them get their feet back on the ground, to love them, and most importantly, to lead them to Christ. Also, a home for men in the same vein. Our school, we want to get our private school open so badly to instill Christ in these kids from the time that they start school to the time they graduate, along with the reading, writing, and arithmetic, a soup kitchen, and so much more.
How do you see that coming along now? I know that we've been in a great revival, and the people at home will see more of that in our videos. I really don't want to spoil that for them.
Right.
But how do you see that in these past, I'm just going to say month, how do you see that coming along?
I see God fulfilling what He spoke to us through so many people as we've been faithful to Him. If we're faithful, God is faithful. And His timing is everything. His timing is not our timing, but His timing is everything. God is beginning to bring in the right people at the right time who share the vision that we have to do what God has called us to do. And as those people come in, God is setting them up, and we're able to set them forth to do those things. It's awesome to see the children get involved, to see children praying in the altar spontaneously, children ministering from the age of 6 up to the age of 10, reaching out to people with the love of Christ, to see our youth on fire like they are. It spreads. It's like a wildfire.
Well, there's certainly been some ups and downs in this journey. You've been in Breckenridge 15 years now, and this is really just now taking off. I know that there's ministers and pastors all across the nation right now that feel just overwhelmed. They feel like they're really not making a difference. What would you say if you were in a room with them?
God says not to despise small beginnings. And in ministry, there are many mountains that we're going to climb, many hurdles that we're going to have to jump over. And sometimes the enemy wants us to think that we're defeated, to give up, quit, move on, take another assignment if that's the option within a church that you're a part of, whatever. But when we hold true to what God's called us to, when we're faithful, He is faithful. We have to hold fast to that vision that He's given us. The Word says in 2 Timothy 1:12, "For I know whom I have believed, and am persuaded that He is able to keep that which I've committed unto Him against that day." We committed this vision to Him 15 years ago. I didn't have a clue how long it would take, but God did. And now He's beginning to bring that to pass. So don't get discouraged and don't get disheartened, but wait on the Lord. Wait on the Lord and He'll renew your strength.
Well, Pastor Lane, we want to thank you for your time. Thank you for letting us invade your home. And we're looking forward to hearing more from you, more from the church. Once again, thank you so much. Your vision is awesome, and obviously God has blessed it. All right, people, that's all the time we have for today. You can catch us up on different videos as time goes on. Stay tuned and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.